Let's celebrate the 5-year anniversary of this channel.
Turning pages, keep turning those pages. Time flies when you've been reading for ages.
First off, I want to thank everybody who took the time to leave a question and for all of your kind words. It really just meant the world to me. And you all asked really good questions, so I think this is going to be an interesting video. So first off, Terrell Billinger asked a bunch of questions, and the first one was, which romance books would you want to recommend to high school students? I'm just going to assume you mean straight up romance with no fantasy paranormal elements. Some of my personal favorite teen romances from when I was a teenager and that I still reread from time to time are, well, they're all by Meg Cabot. She was my favorite. First there's Teen Idol, which is about a movie star that goes undercover as a high school student. Adorable. They're all adorable. And How to Be Popular. This one's really shiny. About a girl who finds an old book on how to gain popularity and all of the wackiness that follows that. It has a great message and is also just adorable. And All-American Girl, which is about a girl who saves the president's life and everything that follows that. And for some more recent releases, there's Geekerella by Ashley Poston, which is about fan culture. That one's super cute, and I believe Ashley Poston also has a companion novel to that one out. I haven't read it yet, but it's probably really good. And I recently read Tonight the Streets Are Ours by Layla Sales, and I really enjoyed it. This isn't super romance focused, but it's more like a finding yourself, coming of age type story, but it was really good. Next question is, what is one book or series that you love so much you have no idea that everyone else isn't talking about it? I think I've mentioned this one before. The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. I honestly think everybody who loves Leigh Bardugo's Grisha World would love this duology. It's about a magical competition in a fantasy version of historical Russia, and it's just great. The magic is really cool. I really like the characters. Go read it. Next question is, can you please explain the difference between historical fiction and historical romance? So first off, there's a lot of crossover because historical romance, I do believe, is a subgenre of historical fiction, so there's going to be quite a few similarities. So I'm guessing that's the question. So historical fiction is usually about exploring the social or political issues of that time period in that location. And while there can be a romance subplot in the book, the romance is not necessarily the main focus of the story. In historical romance, on the other hand, the social and political issues of the time generally serve as a backdrop to the romance. So they either bring the characters together or tear them apart, but the romance is the primary focus of the story, not necessarily the political, social issues and like the overall message. Though there can be a message, but it's like, it's told through the romance. Hopefully that is a clear enough answer. And then, which books am I most looking forward to reading this fall? So I just found out that the sequel to The Red Scrolls of Magic, the Shadowhunters book that is about Magnus and Alex, not Alex, is coming out, or just came out recently. And I really want to read that. I really loved book 1. It was so funny and just reminded me of Mortal Instruments days of Cassandra Clare. And also Jessica Cluas, who wrote the Shadow, Bright and Burning trilogy, recently released a book in May that has dragons in it. So I really want to read that one. But I usually get my new releases from the library, which hasn't been open. So we'll see when I get around to reading those two. Otherwise, I have my whole TBR cart full of things I want to read. And I recently went to the thrift store and got a whole pile of books. I'm about to film a haul for that, so I'm definitely excited to read all of those in the upcoming months. Okay, next, Brenna Isbell asked, what book series has your favorite book couple of all time? And I can't possibly choose just one. Is my thing twisted now? Well, it looks like it's... Okay. Felt like it was leaning. Since I can't possibly choose just one favorite bookish couple, I'm gonna rapid fire like my top few. That's Clary and Jace from the Mortal Instruments series, Cress and Thorn from the Lunar Chronicles, Rose and Dimitri from Vampire Academy, and Suze and Jessie from The Mediator by Meg Cabot, which is probably also a lesser known series I'm obsessed with, but I feel like I have talked about that one quite a lot, so I thought I'd give that one a break. And she also asked, how long do you think you'll keep doing Booktube? And that is an interesting question. So I currently have a bunch of ideas and plans for videos, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. So I guess I would stop if I no longer enjoy making videos, or for some reason I just don't have the time. Hopefully that's a good answer, but I'm not planning to be like, I've done 5 years, I'm done. Next, Vanessa from Paper Fairy asked a question. First I want to quickly shout out Paper Channels. First, I want to quickly shout out Paper Fairy's channel because she is doing a Halloween event called Spooktober that takes place throughout the entire month of October, involves a readathon and other fun stuff. So you should definitely go check out her channel if you want information on that. I know I will be participating. And she asked, out of all your hobbies and cool stuff that you do, which do you feel you are most confident at and which one makes you the happiest? So first off, thank you for saying that I do cool stuff. And I think I definitely feel the most confident in writing and drawing, just because those are the two that I have focused on the most and practiced the most at. And they also both make me really, really happy, as long as I'm not having like a bad day with writer's block where I can't, you know those days if you're a writer. Another hobby that I'm not quite as good at, not nearly as good at, but makes me really, really happy is singing. If you didn't know, when I was little, I wanted to be a singer. Since I knew being a Disney princess wasn't a real option, I thought I could at least sing like one. But I think I was around 10 or so when I recorded myself singing, and this was on an old cassette player with like one of those blank cassette tape things, because this was the late 90s, early 2000s, and I thought I sounded awful. And I didn't realize that it was probably the terrible recording quality and not me that sounded bad. But long story short, I stopped singing in front of people, except for maybe my sister in the car. And over the last couple of years, I have challenged myself to start learning how to sing again. I pretty much had to start from scratch from all the years of just like not practicing or barely singing at all. But I enjoy it so much, even though I was really, really awful in the beginning. And I've actually improved like a crazy amount, I think anyway, from the first few recordings of me, or the first few months of recording even. And I can actually sing Stone Cold by Demi Lovato, like decent. Not as good as her, but like miles above when I first started recording it. And I'm still learning, but yeah, I really love singing. And I do have some video plans for bookish music videos with original songs. I think I've mentioned that before. The only problem is the song that I want to do first, I'm having trouble with the first verse of the song. I feel like the melody is kind of off, and I really want to fix it before I record the song and film the video. And that was a long tangent, so let's move on. And then Laura from Trope Trinity Trilogy asked a couple questions. And me and Laura actually just did a collab where we have crazy conversations about Disney characters, so you should go take a look at that if you missed it. And she asked, what is your favorite Redbubble sticker that you created? So if you didn't know, I have a Redbubble shop full of original artwork that can be printed on t-shirts and stickers and stuff. Link in the description if you feel like giving it a click. And I love them all. They are all my precious creations. But I was actually just thinking about this because I kind of want to order myself one of my designs, and I'm like, but that means I have to choose which one to get. And I was kind of leaning towards the Writer for Life llama. I'll put a picture of it somewhere. Because she's pink and I like the way her curly fur turned out. I also really like the heart eyes unicorn. I think I have this one. Because the heart eyes emoji is my favorite emoji, and I just think she's really fun. This is a sticker I printed out and put on foam if you're like, what is this? She also asks, what is your favorite fantastical creature from any work of fiction or mythology? I'm pretty basic. I love unicorns. This is a unicorn ottoman, and she even has a tail. Because unicorns represent magic itself. I also really love dragons. Also have to give a quick shout out to Totoro and to Porgs from the Star Wars movies. So cute. Alright, next question. Why am I still wearing this? Fix my hair real quick. And then she asks, what is your favorite trope and your favorite example of it done? So, I think I must have terrible taste in tropes because my top 2 favorites seem to appear on everybody's most despised trope list. And they are The Chosen One and the love triangle. You're rolling your eyes now, aren't you? As for examples for The Chosen One, try real hard not to say Harry Potter right now, but a less popular series that I thought did a really interesting thing with the Chosen One idea was A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. This is a fantasy set in 19th century England with magicians, and there are monsters terrorizing everyone. And this one girl gets taken away from her simple life as a governess for orphans. I think they're orphans. Because signs point to her being the one that can save them all. It's really good. There's also a love triangle or love square. How many love interests does she have? She has a lot. It's a lot, but in the best way. Also, have you used that trope and in what story? No spoilers. And of course, no spoilers. I can't wait for the days when my books are in the world and I can do spoiler-filled videos talking about my stories in detail and how I got the inspiration for different things. But back to the question. Have I used my favorite tropes? And Laura, you know I have. After I answered that question, you were like, oh, duh. One of my series I literally refer to as my Chosen One comedy. It's all about playing with the idea of the Chosen One and destiny and all of that good stuff. And there's a love triangle in every single book I've written. I'm not even sorry. I live for that drama. And those are all the questions. I had so much fun making this video. Thank you so much again for asking questions. Thank you so much for watching this channel. If you have been here since the beginning, back in September of 2015, or you are a newer viewer, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!